Welcome to the path to a million US dollars. Let's look at the Bitcoin chart for today, starting with the 4-hour time frame. The price of Bitcoin is still above the 0.786 Fibonacci level, currently at about 65.5 thousand. As I said in yesterday's video, I only see prices moving back and forth over the weekend. This is what we've seen so far. This is what I expect to happen over the next day or two until the markets open again on Monday. This is especially likely over the weekend when the Bitcoin ETFs are not dealing. As a result, there is a lot less supply in the market. And right now you can see at the bottom of the screen that the noise really drops over the weekend. This is normal to see. As of right now, we are still holding this level of support, but be on the lookout for possible fakeouts like to the downside. Get some money out of this area and then move back above this support level. That's something to keep an eye out for this weekend. However, if prices stay below this level of support for the rest of the weekend, we should recognize that this level of support is no longer valid. Let's say you get a daily candle close below this and on Sunday too, and then we might start to look for Bitcoin prices to go down from here. In this case, let's look at the Fibonacci golden pocket, which is located between 62,000 and 62.7K. I think this will be a strong level of support because of how many times prices have recently traded right on top of it, used it as support, and then blasted off to the upside. As a whole, just looking at this Bitcoin trend shows that the price is still going up and down between higher highs and higher lows every 4 hours. We also made a bigger high on the 1-day time frame not long ago. You may have seen that I have a white line going all the way up to about $75,000 here. As a general rule, I see these white lines as possible price targets. In this case, they are for a double bottom or W pattern that has already broken out above here. However, I don't think this is a good price target right now. You can use that price goal if you want, since Bitcoin is still trading in this descending channel. What you really want to see is this as a W pattern that broke out to the upside. To me though, the real test will come when there is a real breakout above this descending range. At the time of this recording, the Bitcoin price was about 67.3 thousand, but keep in mind that this will trend down over time. If we see a clear break above this previous high point at about 68.4 thousand, I think it's very likely that we'll be able to take advantage of this large amount of rising liquidity at about 72,000 USD for the Bitcoin price. So if we see that proven breakout above this descending channel and just above this previous high, we will probably finally take out this big level of liquidity that I have been talking about on the channel for a long time. Of course, I'll show it here in the movie too. But for now, we need to look at some other levels of support and resistance for Bitcoin. This is because we're trading inside a big level of resistance right now. The next big level of resistance for the Bitcoin price is between 68,000 and 70,000 US dollars. If we really start to see a rise above 66,000, I think it's very likely that we'll go up to that level. Even so, we might see some short-term support here on these old lows for Bitcoin right now. Also, that's something to keep in mind. At the moment, this is at about 67.5 thousand. I do have to say that this is the most promising time we've been at the top of the channel so far. To give you an example, if we look at the Bitcoin RSI trend indicator over the last week, we can see that it is breaking out to the upside right now. On a 1-week time frame, the momentum will become more bullish the farther it moves away from this 50 line. Keep in mind that there is a difference between the time frames. This is the 1-week time frame, but on the shorter time frames, even if there is an uptick on the longer time frame like a week, there can still be smaller downtrends while the longer time frame is up. Just remember that. Also, if you want to learn more about how technical analysis works, I'll put a link to my free trade course in the video description. In it, I teach you the basics of technical analysis. If that sounds like something you'd be interested in, go check it out. That being said, I think things are looking better this time because the RSI is coming out of a long-term downtrend. This has been going down for over 6 months, but we are now turning around. Yes, you may remember that I've talked a lot about this RSI surge over the last 2 weeks. This still looks like it will be a big breakout so far. As I've said many times before, I do think it's possible that we'll see another move down followed by much higher RSI levels if we don't break out of the falling channel soon. But if you get something like what we saw here, where you get a wig outside or a wig to the upside with a big move down after that, like you saw right here, then it will look like the momentum is slowing. So this would be seen as a rejection from the top of the descending channel. This would make it more likely that we will turn here and see Bitcoin prices go down again. But as I said, things are going pretty well so far. In the beginning of this movie, we aren't really seeing any signs of a change.